Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick trade recap on a trade I took on the Aussie dollar over the past week. Worked out pretty nicely. Pretty much after entry, it just slowly trickled right down to my take profit. And this was the trade idea. It was kind of based on the higher time frames. Whoops. And you can see kind of what I was seeing. We broke this downtrend line and just kind of started to put in a series of higher highs and higher lows. And this higher high had a rejection off of just this little supply zone that you can see that pushed us down last time. And if you kind of zoom in a little bit, you can see where I entered on a kind of retracement up here off of the initial push down. It's kind of a lower high entry. Was looking for a breakout of this kind of rising wedge pattern or whatever you want to call it, and then I was expecting a corrective structure to take place before we get another push down to potentially fill this lower kind of channel structure here. Didn't necessarily want to try and take it all the way down. Wasn't sure how far this corrective structure, if there was going to be one, would take place. I'm not sure how long that would have lasted, so I just went ahead, picked essentially a previous support or previous resistance. It was broken, it became support. So what logic says is that would also potentially become support again. So that was my target, 71.25, and if we play, we just filled just now, and you can see we did get a little corrective structure here and finally broke out and just trickled down today. Actually after hours, in the Asian session, we finally filled my take profit order. Just kind of ranged all day in about a 10 or 15 pip range before we finally had a nice little wick down just now. Down to that support. We are catching a little bit of support, but good targets potentially a little bit further down. So let me just bring up kind of a little bit better idea of the precise entry, and I'll just kind of delete some of this stuff because it's irrelevant more or less to my entry and exit. You can see that rising wedge pattern you got here. A couple different ways you could potentially draw it, like so, just to kind of be a little more precise with it. And you can see an obvious rejection out of this supply zone. So what I was looking at was, make this a little bit bigger. Bear with me, I'm on my laptop right now, and if you hear some random noise in the background, it's probably my noisy dishwasher. So just a quick low to high, it's a nice 78.6 fib retracement right there, and that was my entry essentially. Right up there, as price was coming up back to tap into that supply zone, we just kind of fell out of that nicely, followed through, broke this ascending trend line bottom, if you want to call it that, and then just kind of did a little corrective structure, and then finally just pushed down to my first profit target there. I'm not looking to hold this much longer. I'm going to let price kind of dictate what it wants to do and reevaluate as price progresses a little bit, because you can see it is coming off of, if you go out to higher time frame weekly chart, you can see we got a potential double bottom situation here, and just kind of create your boundaries there. Potential large range structure, and this is kind of corrective in nature anyway, as we are squeezing down into these lower levels. AU has not really been here before, at least the chart that I have. Just a little bit way back in 2008, 2009, and then real quick in January of 2020. Hey, get down from there. Sorry, my cat jumped on the table. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. 2016, we tapped, which stimulated a bull run for the next year, 2 years pretty much, before we had a steep decline over 2018. So it'll be interesting to see what becomes of this. And this early flash crash of 2019 could potentially have been the low for the year. So we're going to see if we're going to break out to the upside or to the downside. Obviously, nice targets if you look on higher time frames to both sides. So that was the trade. Simple trade, basic analysis. Nothing, nothing too drastic or difficult to put together. It just you get a directional bias. You get an idea, you get a plan, and you just trade that plan until proven otherwise, or your take profit is filled. So I hope this helps. Take care, and good luck trading this week.